Okay, that's my base. Now the next thing I'll do is get out a sea sponge. Let me show it to you. Just kind of crinkled it up, and I'll just put it in my colors and dab it like this. Okay, now I need my first layer of green, which will be my darkest layer. So what colors do I use? If you guessed red, yellow, and blue, then you guessed right. Let's start by making a green. This blue is just straight blue tint from the paint store in a gallon of paint. I asked him to only put that one tint. It's the equivalent to probably a phthalo blue in artist paints. It will dry to about the same color. You have to remember that with these water-based paints that you paint walls with, they are lighter when they're wet, so you can see this this intense blue that is significantly darker when it dries. And it's like that with all the other colors also, other than white. The real light ones don't really darken as they dry. Okay, yellow. I'm holding this up so you can see it. See that bright green? Let's put red in it to darken it. Red. And I'll put more blue. I've got to make enough of this that I can dip the sponge in it. It'll be a very dark green by not adding any white to it. More blue. Okay. That'll be my first layer, that color right there. I'll just take the sponge, and I'll just dip it in this paint like so. Okay. See how it gets on that end? Okay. Then I'll come up here and start putting it in. I'm going to put it heavier towards the top and gradually do less as I come down because it's getting into the shadows of the forest. Notice how I keep changing the position too, so that I don't get any repeating patterns. More of the paint. Just a little bit down in here. Let's put more up at the top. Okay, it's time to mix the second layer. I'm going to need less red, more white. I'm not going to start adding white yet. I'll just do less red to get a brighter green. Then as I get to the brightest, I'll start adding white. Same palette. I'm not worried about mixing the old color with the new because they all have the same 3 colors in them. So blue, yellow, red, but not as much. Okay. More yellow and blue. So I wipe the brush on the edge like that. I can do a little test on here to see that it's brighter. It's still kind of a dark green, so I'll brighten it up a bit with more red and yellow. I mean blue and yellow, not red and yellow. Okay. Okay, that's ready to go. Let's do the second layer. Yeah. Now as I do this layer, it's gonna be inside of the boundaries of the first layer of green. So only where I've already put green, I'm gonna put smaller areas of this brighter green inside of that. Okay. So I'm looking for my green spots. Now I'm gonna put this on the upper side of those spots. Okay. This. Now you get more, the tone of that's not matching what's over here. It's a little bit too orangey, so that means I have too much red in it. I'm going to add more blue and yellow. Got to get this green to be greener. Okay. When I was doing this mural, I was doing all these trees at the same time. You can cover a lot of surface area with this technique. Put some up in here, just little dabs. A bit dark. Tiny bits down here in the shadows. Okay. Get plenty of it up here. Okay, now the next layer is going to be a brighter green. And this is where I'm going to start adding a little bit of white, yellow, blue, just get some of the white, lighten that green up. See how that compares over here. Get out the sponge once again. Same thing. Now I'm going to try to stick with areas that I've already brightened and put this brightest color on top of those. So just get these accents in here.